Hey y'all, I need to ask somebody. Can you weather the storm? And we all have been through some storms. We gonna have another storm coming up ahead. It won't be the first, it won't be the last. But can you stand in the storm? And somebody might be in a storm right now. And you feeling like you in that storm by yourself. And when you feel like you in a storm by yourself, you feel like you can't talk to nobody, when nobody understand, and then you feeling like that God is not there. But I want to tell you that God is always there. Remember the story in Matthew when Peter and the disciples was on the boat and a storm came up ahead. The wind was blowing, and I know, we always hear the story about how Jesus told Peter to step out on the water and have faith. But they was already afraid because they was in a storm. And they like, how we gonna get out? Like, hey, I'm scared. Like, what we going to do? We about to drown. Like, this strong wind is taking place. And what, is this our last time? Is this storm gonna take us out? But you know what? When they looked up ahead, here come Jesus. And even though he was not physically in that boat with them, and even though he was far away from them, he was still there with them. And I want to tell somebody, you might feel like you just in this storm by yourself. And sometimes we'll feel like, God is nowhere around. And if he was, why he not helping me? Why he not pulling me out this storm? Why he not making things better? But I want to tell you that he's there with you. That strength that you got each and every day to keep going, you didn't get it on your own. That strength that you got to get up and try it again, and that strength you got not to give in and not to give up, you don't have it on your own. So I want to encourage someone. Sometimes them storms can be a little turbulent. But I want to tell you, don't give up. Stand in that storm. Because the storms never last. You went through a storm before, and guess what happened? You came out of that storm. You might have another storm on up ahead that you don't know nothing about. But guess what? As long as you got God on your side, mm, he gonna always be there with you. Even when it feel like you in a storm by yourself. Stop being hard on yourself. Stop saying, because sometimes we want to throw in the towel. Like, man, like, whoo, like this journey and going through this and going through that. But he never said that it will be easy. But we should always lean on him and seek him. But I want to tell you that just like he brought you out that last storm, he gonna bring you out of this one. Stop being hard on yourself. And know that God is there with you even if you feel like you're there by yourself. He know what you're going through. Keep depending on him. Keep crying out to him because he knows. And I want to encourage someone. You made it out the last storm. You're going to make it out of this one. So if you stood in the last storm and that wind didn't take you out, that tornado didn't take you out because somebody's storm might be feeling like a hurricane. Guess what? It didn't take you out. So just like you stood 10 toes down in that last storm, you might be going through one right now. Stand 10 toes down. Even if you feel like that you don't see the sun to come out peeping through them clouds, guess what? Still stand 10 toes down. It won't always be like this. Mm, mm, mm. The Lord will perfect that's concerned in you. Sooner or later, it was turn in my favor. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Sooner or later, it's gonna turn in your favor. It's turning around for you. It's turning around for me. Don't give up because the storms never last, y'all. A physical storm don't stay forever. That storm that you are in, that you're going through, that you feel like it's a never-ending storm, let me tell you something. The storms don't last forever. Be encouraged. Stay in the face of God. Because just because you feel like you in a storm by yourself, you not in that storm by yourself. Bye, y'all.